Hello, and welcome to the fiscal year 2026 Creative Aging Initiative application webinar. My name is Samantha Clark. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Program Officer for Arts Education and Lifelong Learning at the New Jersey State Council for the Arts. I'm a millennial white woman with light blue-gray eyes, light blonde hair, and today I am wearing a pink blazer and black top in front of very piled up bookcases. This webinar will be an overview of the Creative Aging Initiative application. Your application is available in Sage and is comprised of one review page and 14 forms. I will walk through each of those pages in this video. For information about Sage or an overview of the grant program, please see our other recorded webinars on the Arts Council's website. As you prepare each form, please remember that your application will be reviewed by panelists who work and live outside of New Jersey. Please do not assume that they will be familiar with your organization and refrain from using acronyms or local references that may not be understood by an outside reviewer. Take care to double check that all information is detailed and accurate. The Organizational Profile Information Review page provides the essential information about the organization. The contact information listed in this form is utilized by the Arts Council for all communication purposes. It is paramount that the information is current and accurate. Review all information and update accordingly. The grant contact should be the individual responsible for managing the grant in Sage and is the organization's primary Arts Council contact. This person must have the ability to speak on behalf of the organization and its grant for the duration of the project. The next three forms will be basic information that is shared both with the Arts Council, the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies, and the National Endowment for the Arts. On Form 1, Type of Support, the Creative Aging category is pre-selected for you. On Form 2, Panel category, please select the Creative Aging Initiative regardless of the art forms presented or proposed in your project. Form 3 is the Application Detail Summary. This form asks for the purpose of funding which may be used in public materials. The statement is limited to approximately 50 words or 300 characters, and it should contain the basic who, what, where, and when information. For an example statement, please refer to your grant guidelines. On this page, you will be asked to provide 3 project description codes that will be reported to the National Endowment for the Arts and the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies. We suggest that you select the following. Under Type of Description, please select 12, Arts Instruction. For project descriptors, please select Older Adults. And for the Arts Education form, please type in 01D. 50% or more of this project's activities are arts education directed to adult learners. Form 4 is the grant narrative and is the largest portion of your application. The narrative should clearly and concisely communicate your project to the application review panel and provide context for the other materials in the application. The grant narrative has been divided into 4 sections. Information about your organization, the proposed project, learning goals of the proposed project, and accessibility information. Please keep in mind the evaluation criteria in the published rubric as you write your grant narrative. The rubric will be used by all application review panelists while assessing your application. The narrative should comprise of 4 headers: organization, proposed project, learning goals, and accessibility. Under the organization header, briefly describe your organization, its mission, major programs, and the community or communities that you serve. Be sure to detail the organization's experience serving older adults. The proposed project section should fully describe the arts learning projects for both year 1 and year 2 of the CHI grant. Fully describe the art forms, the number of activities, the length of each activity, and who the audience is that you intend to engage in this programming. Your proposed project should clearly address a community need for each of the 2 years of funding. If the proposed projects are new, clearly detail why the proposed projects are a high priority and what community need is being addressed and served. If the proposed projects are an expansion or deepening of existing programs, detail the community need and how the programmatic expansion will better serve that community need. Include details of how current efforts are not currently meeting that need. As a reminder, projects may be sequential and build to a culmination, or they may be a series of events or workshops. Projects for year 1 and year 2 may build upon each other to meet one community need, or they may address 2 or more needs of the community. Please detail how the proposed project will be accomplished in each of the 2 years of the grant. Detail what resources you will utilize to market the offerings, what planned partnerships your organization may leverage for this opportunity, and how staff will be engaged to see the project through to its conclusion. If you are engaging directly with a teaching artist or artists, detail who you will be working with and their experience with the older adult population. If you are partnering with an arts organization who will provide you with a teaching artist or artists, explain this relationship, how a teaching artist will be selected, and key personnel at both organizations that will lead to the successful completion of the project. As a reminder, a teaching artist is a professional who has dual careers, one as a practicing artist and the other as an educator. Teaching artists acquire training in educational techniques and make education central to their career, in addition to being a working artist. Teaching artists work in many settings, including schools, museums, hospitals, correctional facilities, and more. If you have an existing relationship with a teaching artist, be sure to detail their experience with the older adult population in your grant narrative. You will need to upload the teaching artist bio or CV as a supporting document, and that document should reflect the experience you detail in the narrative. If you are engaging with an arts organization, it's important to share how a teaching artist will be selected and how each organization will support the partnership. A letter of support from the arts organization will need to be uploaded as a support document, confirming this relationship and the teaching artist selection process. In the learning goals section, you will be asked to detail the arts-based learning goals for each of the projects. While we appreciate and understand that the arts have social emotional benefits, this section should focus on the arts learning goals for the project. Learning goals must be measurable, support the needs of your participants, and they must be attainable within the project timeline. Ensuring that participants have barrier-free access to programming with mindful accommodations for their full participation is of utmost importance. In this section of the narrative, please describe how you will provide both physical access to the programming as well as programmatic accommodations to ensure that all participants are able to access and participate fully in the project. Form 5 is your organizational board chart. Please ensure that all information is up to date in this chart. Form 6 will identify the staff responsible for managing the project. Applicants should prorate the staff's hours and salaries to reflect their time on the project and the project only. The total staff costs in this chart should equal the staff costs in the project budget. Form 7 and Form 8 are the organization or department's operating budget, both expenses and income. If you are a larger part of a unit of government, town, or city, please only include your department's operating budget. We understand that the chart's line items may not align with your organization and how they complete your organizational budget. We encourage you to fill it out the way it makes the best sense to your organization and use the budget notes to explain why you presented the information in this way. Form 9 and 10 are the project budgets for the Creative Aging Initiative. Form 9 should correlate to year 1 of the project, while Form 10 will be the project budget for year 2. Project budget should indicate how the grant and any additional funds, if you are using them, will implement this work. Teaching artist funds should total no less than $80 per hour, plus travel and planning time. Programming should be provided without cost to older adult participants. It is strongly recommended for applicants to fully utilize the budget notes in the project budget. The application review panelists look to the budget notes to provide clarity on the project budget, particularly around artist fees, supplies, administrative costs, travel, and more. We encourage you to detail those fees fully and completely. Form 11 is the ADA checklist. All applicants, including current GOS and GPS grantees, must complete the ADA checklist. The checklist applies only to the proposed project and relates to facilities, programmatic accommodations, marketing, employment, accessibility, awareness training, and policy. Form 12 is the support documentation page. Applicants will be required to share the organizational website, the bios or CVs of the teaching artists, or a letter of support from the partnering arts organization, a project timeline for each of the project years, and documentation of your organization's past creative aging work. Please do not upload more than 5 pages of documentation of past work. Upload each item as an accessible, password-free web link or as a PDF. Materials that are not uploaded in this manner will not be viewed by the application review panel. The application certification form must be signed by 2 different authorized officials. And once the form has been certified, follow the instructions for submitting the application on Form 14. If you have any questions regarding the guidelines for application process, you are welcome to sign up for a virtual office hour or contact me by email or phone. For questions regarding the SAGE system, please view the SAGE webinar on the Arts Council's website or contact Robert Warshinsky by email or phone. Please note, the volume of assistance increases as the grant deadline approaches. We encourage you to reach out early to ensure that your concerns are being addressed ahead of the deadline. Thank you for your interest in the Creative Aging Initiative.